What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Fig here, and so I'm coming to you now from inside my car, and I came all the way up here to Travis Air Force Base to get that computer that I was talking about, the new one that I wanted to get. So, anyways, I get here and I go to step into the stores, and there's a sign out front, no entry without mask. Of course, I didn't know this, so I don't have a mask with me. So I'm over around using my sweater like this. I'm like this, looking like a fool, fucking just walking around like this and shit, right? And so then I get out of the one store, the uniform store, because I needed to get some new pants. And then, anyways, and so then I go into the main exchange, and the ladies there, like, there's two ladies out front, two little Filipino chicks, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you need a mask." And I was like, "I'll just use my sweater." And this time I pulled my hood around like this. And so I'm over there like this the whole time, people looking at me all funny. I'm looking at them like, "Hey, you're the ones with the masks, you know?" But the thing is, like, it screwed up my beard, man. Like, now my beard's all fucked up because of it. So now I'm over here in the drive-thru at the BK Lounge, and I'll catch you guys later.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Fig here, and welcome to the rabbit hole. So it's been a few days. You probably just watched the video I took when I went to Travis. I'll put it all together somehow in there. But anyways, I've been pretty busy with just trying to work as much as possible, and also, of course, school, trying to study, because it's kicking my ass right now, man. School is kicking my ass right now. But got a couple of things. One, I started watching this show on Hulu. My computer's all chiming over here. Anyways, I started watching this show on Hulu called Black Sails. And if you haven't watched it, and if you're a fan of pirates and things like that, watch the show. Like, it's freaking good. Obviously, I'm not being paid to say this, but I've only watched the first episode so far, and I really like it. It's pretty good. Of course, with like Assassin's Creed, Black Flag was like my favorite one. I mean, when Black Flag came out, it was like, in my opinion, head and shoulders above like anything else. It was absolutely the best Assassin's Creed at that point. I think the new one now is probably better than Black Flag, if you play as the female. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I believe, is the new one. Well, the newest one. Play as the female. Like, because if you play as a male, and anyone out there who has played as both will know, like, the voice acting, it's seriously left wanting on the male part. The female voice acting, so much better, so much more like emotion into it. The male voice acting was like, I don't know, it was just like listening to, no matter what he said, it sounded like the same thing that he said 10 minutes prior, and it could be a totally different thing. I think it's probably just the way his voice is and stuff like that. So for me, like, if you're gonna play that game, play it as a female. But anyways, back to Black Flag. I mean, it was head and shoulders above, right? It was truly the free play that you wanted to. As an RPG, to have that kind of free roam and everything, it was fantastic. To go from ship to like swimming in the ocean and shit, right? Stopping wherever you want and jumping onto some random fucking island to find treasure. I mean, it's fucking cool. So anyways, Black Sails, obviously reminds me of that. I mean, they start off like robbing a ship, right? A merchant ship. But then they end up in Nassau. Hell, just like fucking Black Flag, right? So far, really good. Again, I've only seen the first episode of Black Sails. And, I mean, already a lot of shit happened within the first episode. So, I mean, it's pretty intense, pretty cool. Also, I'm here with the my Cyberfrog Issue 1 review. Okay, so this is coming from me, which means that I really don't know anything about Cyberfrogs. I have not been in the comic world in many years. I mean, I had a collection of comics when I was younger, and throughout the years I randomly would read some. Was definitely a big fan of Archie and Jughead, you know, when I was a kid. Anyone know those ones? So it's coming from my perspective and things. So just, I mean, bear that in mind. I know there's other reviews already out there, been out there for probably a year or so, maybe even 2 years. But this one's for me. So first, let me start off with, I like to give credit where the credit's due. So we're gonna go with the artist and everyone who made the book. I think that's important to do, right? So of course, Ethan Van Sciver, I think. He's the one who created Cyberfrog. So he wrote and drew the whole book. We got the letters, so all the wording and everything was done by Robin Spihar. If I'm butchering the names, I'm sorry. But the coloring is done by Ruben Rude and International House of Color. That's what it says. So let me go ahead and show that to you guys. I don't know if you can see it very well. There you go. Little credits there. Bata. Okay, enough of that. So, let's go. So it's set in Manhattan, apparently, and the green box. So there's green boxes with like yellow to white, like shading, right? And they have little bubbles at the edges of the boxes. So those are actually Cyberfrog's thought boxes. Those are like his inner thoughts. And let me just show you one. I don't want to give too much of it away in case you haven't read it and you plan on reading it or something like that, right? So I don't know if you could see the little thought box right there. Okay, so that's how you know those are his thoughts as opposed to other people's, right? I really actually appreciated that, because a lot of times the thought boxes are all the same. So it's like, well, who the hell is thinking it? Especially once you start, you know, going into the sub stories and things like that. This makes it very easy to understand who's doing what. So then his wording boxes are basically the same, but they're, instead of square, they're round. So let me show you his wording boxes. So boom, there's his wording boxes. As you can see from what little I've shown you, the coloring is very well. And even though parts of it are pretty dark, because there is a lot of black in there, it's not difficult to see what is what. Sometimes some comics can be a little either too colorful or just too dark, and you can't tell like one body part from another kind of thing. Fucking eyelashes, dude. Like, women are always like, oh, I want long eyelashes. No, you really fucking don't. Like, they're so annoying. they'll hang down, right? They'll like fucking hang down and block your vision and shit. Like, long eyelashes are not the fucking shit. So you take that to the bank. But anyways, so back to Cyberfrog. Green bubbles, thought box. I like the coloring scheme, dude. Like, I mean, as far as a frog goes, I mean, what do you think? You think, you know, green, yellowish kind of shit, right? So it's really cool. One thing I liked about this too is that, I mean, there was action right away. There was like, what, the second fucking page? Boom. Okay, third page you got action. You know, first page was some build up. Second page was the confrontation. Third page, boom, action. That's fucking right away, basically. So I really like that. It gives enough build up right at first to understand what's happening. Then it goes into after he kicks the shit out of everybody. I mean, he kicks the shit out of everybody. And one thing I thought was funny is, like, he definitely has some good little jokes in there. You know, some quick little one-liner kind of things. And one thing I thought was funny, he saves this lady. I don't want to give too much of the story away and shit, but he saves this lady, but she was super ungrateful, right? Like, she's like, this that whole kind of thing. Oh, you know, you didn't save my life, you ruined my death, kind of thing, right? I mean, she didn't say that, but it's like kind of ungratefulness, right? These dudes were just about to, like, probably rape her, you know, or something. They were gonna do something bad to her person. Cyberfrog comes in, kicks the shit out of him, right? Rips the head off of this one, rips that off of another one, right? Just destroys them. And then she's pissed off at him. Instead of saying, oh, thank you for saving my life, thank you so much. No. She says, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just murdered like 6 people in front of me. Like, for real, dude? For real? They were about to rape you, and now you're mad that they're dead? So he did what any self-respecting hero would do, and he puts her in a trash can. I mean, he fucking throws her in the trash can butt first, you know? So she's like, ah, you know, all fucking stuck in the can. Get me out of here. Oh, man, shit, I like his attitude, man. I'm telling you, so far, I like Cyberfrog's attitude. So anyways, and apparently he doesn't like the rain. It's kind of funny because, I mean, he's a frog. Like, his origins, right? He doesn't remember really his origins. He just remembers being in the water, and suddenly he's conscious, and he says it was like having a hangover, right? But he's cognizant, so cognizant right away. So I'm really interested, hopefully, to develop this origin, you know, as the books go on. I know nothing about the other books. So it should be interesting. He's got a couple of powers. So one of them is like a homing power. He says it's like a really annoying buzzing in his head, and it directs him to, like, where crime is happening, which is kind of interesting. So it's kind of like it's a homing sense. It's like a homing beacon, right? Like I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, it's a homing mechanism. And then he also apparently has rocket boosters in his feet. Like this, I guess these are natural abilities he has. So the rocket boosters aren't because of his armor or anything. I guess it's just natural in his feet. I think the armor that he has might be natural too. Don't quote me on that because it doesn't say that. But from what it looked like, I think that's what it is. I think it's just how he's made, you know. So there was there was a dude in here who's trying to be all hardcore and shit. He's with some mall rats, and he's trying to be all cool and whatnot. He's got a 9 Inch Nails shirt on, and I thought that was pretty cool, man. Like, I mean, I'm definitely a fan of 9 Inch Nails, and there was even there was a reference to Billy Joel. I love Billy Joel, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Billy Joel, but I thought it was kind of funny because he's apparently listening to 9 Inch Nails, and he said he was able to like get through this CD without needing to listen to Billy Joel after. So I thought that was a little funny, you know. There's even a shout out to Trent Reznor, the 9 Inch Nails, from 9 Inch Nails. So I thought that was pretty cool that they did that. And then another dude comes along. His name is, I wrote that shit down, Ben. Ben Riley. So Ben Riley is apparently what they call a humanitarian, but it's not what you think. So a humanitarian in here eats people. Yup. I know. So humanitarians eat people, and he has like this special medallion, right? Not like this, but he has this big round special medallion he wears that changes him into some crazy fucking looking monster, and then he just bites the fucking head off of this 9 Inch Nails fan, right? And so that was pretty cool. He gets like these long fucking fingers or fingernails and shit. Like, he just turns into this weird looking. And apparently, he's under some ancient curse that's been passed down through his family, and so it turns him into that. He worships the god Osiris, which is the Egyptian god of fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, death, resurrection, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of interesting. And apparently he doesn't bathe regularly. So that's kind of gross. He just relies on cologne. I thought it was kind of funny. Like I said, there's a lot of these little one-liners and shit in there, right? He says, like, right before he bites dude's head off, right? He says, I'd love to get into your head. Or he'll say something like, let me pick your brains, you know? Like, fucking some ridiculous, corny shit, you know? And, you know, some people don't like the corny humor and stuff. I do, you know? I like that kind of obvious, corny humor. I think it's kind of funny. As long as it's not too much of it, right? When you get too much of that shit, it's like, oh god, dude, is this over yet? Is this done yet? But I mean, I thought that was pretty funny. And there's a woman too who apparently Mr. Ben Riley likes, you know, the humanitarian. So apparently Ben Riley likes this chick who likes to take a shortcut through a cemetery from her friend's house to her own house. Yeah, it's like watching any scary movie out there, right? Like, oh yeah, let's take the obviously bad choice. Come on, man. I'm not criticizing the book on that or anything. I just think it's funny, right? Again, I kind of sometimes appreciate that kind of obvious ridiculousness, right? And so anyways, so Ben ends up meeting her in the cemetery, and he wants to, of course, eat her. He wants to feed. And he kind of has like this love-hate relationship with her, except from her end, it's like just hate, right? She's like, get the fuck away from me, dude. Fucking weirdo. But for him, it's like he really likes her, and the more he rejects her, or the more she rejects him, the more he likes her. And it just aggravates the fuck out of him, right? I think a lot of us could probably, guys and girls, probably know that feeling. But I just thought that was funny because she ends up kneeing him in the nuts. Now, ladies, I do not recommend kneeing a dude in the nuts, because frankly, that actually can set off a chain reaction that can kill a guy, right? However, if you are being assaulted or something of that nature, fuck yeah, knee the fuck out of those nuts, kick the hell out of them. Yeah, that's totally fine. But like, if it's not needed, like, don't fucking do it, right? So anyways, so Heather Swain is her name. I don't know why I read it and I think Swan. Like, let me make sure I actually wrote that down right, because I mean, I have been known to write shit down wrong. Yeah, Heather Swain. Yep, that's it. So Heather Swain is like apparently an overdeveloped 16-year-old. So you got this creepy dude from school who's trying to hit on you, and yeah, I don't blame her for kneeing him in the nuts, But anyways, so that's where we end. Apparently Ben's mom is pretty nice too. She seems like one of those really nice Christian moms, and she's got this son who's all, devil and like Osiris worshipping, right? So I'm trying to remind him that he's got church tomorrow while he's trying to summon the fucking Osiris so he can eat human flesh. So far, I mean, that's the book. And again, that was Cyberfrog number 1. I got the other 2, so I look forward to reading those in due time and giving you my personal opinion and review on them too. Personally, so far, I like this book. I do kind of like some of the obvious humor, some of the corniness and stuff, as long as there's not too much of it. So far, I really like it. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have read it, if you haven't read it, plan on it, whatever the case may be, make sure you comment below. Also, please don't forget, please remember, and I will put the link in the description down there too, the GoFundMe for the HomeFirst charities. I'm trying to raise money so we can get the people off the streets and help get them, clothing and blankets and things that they need. Also, be sure to check out the store, also link in the description. And remember, any Baby Yoda merchandise or Nuggies that you purchase, those funds will be going to help homeless children and homeless veterans. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please share so we can get the word around and help as many people as we can get our homeless off the streets and into safe places, okay? Catch you on the flip side.